All right, good morning. This is Henry Kramer, 605 Chaser, and we're going to take a look at what the weather risks are today. There's all kinds of things. We've got tornado risks. That is a conditional risk. I just want to let you know, conditional risk, because there's been morning convection. You can see some of this cloud cover over by Duluth and some of these areas. It's trying to clear away. We're going to break down what's the surface-based sin, that capping in the atmosphere. What is the possibility for that to break this down? Is there going to be enough lift to break through the cap and blow up these storms in areas of Minnesota and even possibly to the east of Clark? There's indications because there's enough clearing to the west that we could have some initiation pretty early. Let's break it all down for you. Here's a satellite loop that we got geocolor showing here. Uh, as you can see, that tornado risk right there. Brown is the big time risk, the 5% risk there. Otherwise, it's 2% risk. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather models and see how we can break that down here for you. We're looking at the NAM 3K here. This is a look at around 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time, and this is kind of when we're expecting things to really initiate if it can break through the cap. 7 p.m. And if we take a look a little bit further here, we go through about 8 p.m. here is kind of the loop, and that's, late afternoon into the late evening hours. We're looking right there. That's at, goodness, my math isn't the greatest here. Hang on one second. That's a look at 5Z, and we go through all the way down into areas of eastern part of Iowa. So folks that live in like the Rapid or Cedar Rapids area, um, you guys are going to have to deal with crazy wind. What are the risks? What are they all? Uh, we'll go ahead and show you that right now. So here's the slight risk. It's over in areas of eastern South Dakota, northeastern South Dakota, and pretty much the whole state of Minnesota and Wisconsin are all in that risk for slight. That would be, could have 1, 2 inch in diameter of hail. The tornado risk, again, that is pretty isolated to more of the Duluth and north of the Twin Cities area. The probabilistic damaging wind, that is pretty prevalent to the eastern portion, far northeastern portion of South Dakota, and pretty much that whole swath of where you see that slight risk. And then as far as the hail, there it is. It's a little bit more isolated than the wind threat, but nonetheless still there. Let's go ahead and take a quick at the Rufus weather model to kind of show you what's expecting for there. Let me play this out here. We're looking at significant tornado parameters, and as we look at the significant tornado parameters, I can't talk. We'll be able to see again, the models do show that this is really not going to shape up until about 6 p.m. because by the time it can break through the cap. And there's a look at 5 p.m. here. Right here, this little cell, the significant tornado parameters is pretty low. It's, well, not low, but low outside of it. But right here, isolated 4.7 for significant tornado parameter number. That while that's not real huge because it's so discrete, that's what you want, right? And here's where we're thinking. This would be the area, Rosen, Minnesota. That's where I would set up as an initial target. I would set up by 5 p.m. and just kind of wait for things to happen a little bit further into Minnesota. So if you guys are familiar with that area or not, it's kind of over by Ortonville, east of Summit, South Dakota. So that would be where I would target if I was chasing today. We'll have to see how this plays out. I do follow quite a few chasers. Let's, kind of see what ends up happening. Yesterday, I was nearly spot on. I suggested that we have chasers go over to like the Mobridge area, pretty much Gettysburg and Mobridge, really that area was pretty well prone. There was a storm chaser, John Hall, ended up reporting a rotating wall cloud around the same time that I had predicted. So I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I got it right yesterday. So let's see what we end up doing today. And again, let's go ahead and take a look at the updraft helicity, and we'll see what that shows for the Rufus model here. Updraft helicity gives you that indication of where the updrafts and maybe some hailers are. So right here, the Rufus is kind of picking it up a little bit closer into Sioux Falls or South Dakota area. Right in here, that would be near Huron area. Actually, I got a buddy of mine that's a chaser. He may end up wanting to be aware of this. I will certainly let him know. But if we look at the significant tornado parameters for that same time frame, there is a little bit there. Yeah, there is a little bit there. There could be something there. Let's take a look at the HER model and see if it matches up with that. Fairly significant matchup with that. Try go through here. Actually, this still puts it a little bit further east, so we'll have to see the HER or the Rufus. Which one's going to be right? Let me know in the comments which one do you think is going to be the one that we need to look at. So again, this is the area that I would target right here in areas of Minnesota. But we may have to hold out and see how this plays out with respect to the other weather models. Have to see what the 11:30 update gives because we got some time to, if we end up going for a chase today over in Huron area, we got some time. But I'm not sure if I want to push that far. We'll have to see. This is suggesting that things could get really significant over into southwestern portions of Minnesota. Let's take a look at another weather model here at the graphics and see how that plays out here a little bit better. This one is just now loading, so I got to go to the 7 a.m. update here. If we look at this is the HER model is putting it much later, around 10 p.m. by the time things really ramp up. And that could be because of the surface-based SIN or the cap in the atmosphere. Let's go ahead and take a look at that with radar Omega and see how that is expected to play out. Let me go ahead and bring the weather model up here with the SIN. All right, so we have the surface-based SIN or the cap, and it looks like noontime it starts breaking right here over by Clark and Webster. Go a little bit further, breaks fairly early. So we got some breaking in the atmosphere here right around 2 p.m. And so things could ramp up here north of Sioux Falls and Clear Lake in the early afternoon hours. Right there, there's a lot, but we don't have a whole lot of, there's still capping going on in southwest Minnesota. Let's take a look at one other factor here and see how that if that'll be sufficient. I'm mixing here, 1 second. There's definitely plenty there that could end up breaking that early on. So let's take a look at significant or the bulk shear here and see if there's enough shear that might suggest that we could have some breaking in the atmosphere. That shear does give that capability for the draft? Not a whole lot. Let me go over to 12Z. Apologize. Oh yeah, right there, 8 p.m. We start seeing the shear happen there. This would be near Millbank, Ortonville. So that would be why we would suggest that as a chase. Again, the area that we would be chasing, that would be over in this area here, near Ortonville, Millbank. It's all lining up. We'll have to see how it plays out. It could be later than what expected, but sometime this afternoon, late afternoon into the evening hours is when we're kind of expecting things to really ramp up. If you want to take a look at kind of the composite reflective of what that's going to possibly look like, this is a look at 10 p.m. Let me back it up a little bit here and show you. Go through this model here, and then there it is. Boom. 6 p.m. The HER model suggests 6 p.m. And then back here, we've got some back building going. We could have a few brief spin-ups here. We'll be watching it. We'll probably be going live today. I could see that. Um, we'll go back to the NAM 3K and see if that kind of has the same timing. NAM 3K is putting it a little bit sooner. And look at that wall of wind. Oof, da. MCV, hello. So it looks like what we could end up having is a big time front move through here as we get into the evening hours. So it's going to be a long night, I think, at this point. You can see the time up at the top right here, and that's in Central Daylight Time. So just be aware this is going to be a pretty significant storm if it can break through the capping, and all indications does show that it's possible. I'm just going to see if I can bring up surface maps here 1 second and see what's going on there. Let's see if I can find that 1 second here. Not able to find the surface soundings right now. So, but yeah, this would be the area. And then as far as tomorrow goes, where is that risk? And we'll have another live update tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do any chasing, but boy, oh boy, it looks like it's going to be interesting here for tomorrow. Slight risk there for the 1 to 2 inch in diameter hail in the areas of Sioux Falls. And look, Bullseye, Pierre, Miller, Aberdeen, Clark, Clear Lake, Sioux Falls, winner. Uh, winner, chicken dinner. This is going to be a huge day tomorrow. I think they're going to end up pushing that a little bit higher of a risk in this area. If I'm just being honest here, to kind of show you the 500 millibar here. This is for tomorrow's risk. Some shear right here. They span out and kind of show you the whole thing. See that flow right through there. Looks like things will taper off quite a bit here Oh yeah. And then we have some more ramping up sometime in the early part of August. As you can see, that pattern change right there, that's probably going to be some big time severe weather that's expected around the 4th and the 5th of August. So don't want to go much farther out than that, but I'm going to let you guys go. God bless, stay safe, and we will catch you on another live in the morning. Again, last look at where I'm expecting to have things really ramp up late this afternoon into the early evening. That is going to be Ortonville, Odessa. This would be just east of Millbank, South Dakota, right along that northern half, uh, the northeastern portion of South Dakota and Minnesota area. Let's take a look here. There we could go. So there you go. It's basically right on the border there. That's where I would target if I was going to storm chase today. So I just wanted to give you that information. God bless, stay safe, and as always, make sure you like and subscribe so that you don't miss a single uh, update with respect to the severe weather.